Hi, my name is Gordon, and my wife and I had this property out here in Morgan County, and we have 11 acres. And a couple weeks ago, I found a spring on our property, about 400 feet over on the other side on the very edge of my property. It's a seeping spring, very small seeper that just seeps out maybe. It's only maybe 3 to 5 to maybe 6 gallons an hour. So it's a seeper spring, but it's pretty good. It lasts. If it rains, if it rains, you'll get about 6-7 gallons an hour. After a couple of days, a couple of weeks after it rains, it might drop down to like 4, 3. Then after about 3-4 weeks, it'll trickle down to maybe just a couple gallons every hour. But still, that's a lot of water. Just 3 gallons of water. 3 gallons of water an hour in one whole day, you'll get 75 gallons of water. You get 150. In about 4 days, you'll get 300 gallons, and we'll have a 300-gallon tank back there if I further develop it. But this is what I have here is a spring development box, I call it. It's not a spring box; it's a spring development box. And I've looked on YouTube, and I've never seen any sort of box like this in order to filter the water. What you do here is, I'll bring up close, but you fill this with rock. Inside of this is a pipe with a hole in it, sitting upside, and then we're going to bury this about 3-4 feet. As soon as we get more water coming up, we're going to try and get as many veins over there as possible. We're going to bury it about 2 or 3 feet so that we get water coming up, and then we're going to set this in there and fill it with stone. Okay. It takes about, I got 30 bags of stone that I bought, and so we're going to set this in there, put in 30 bags of stone, and the water will be filtered through that stone, and then it'll come out this pipe here. Here's the exit pipe, right here. And then we're going to see if we can get, I have a roof wash. I have a roof wash, which gives us a lot of water. I haven't had to fill the cistern yet. We have a cistern. We don't have a well. So we've been living totally on rainwater for the first 3 months we've been here, and we haven't had any problem. Never gotten below half a tank. But in the summer here, summer's coming, and it's going to get a couple, 2, 3, 4 months of dry weather. And if we don't get any rain, I got to have to haul water. So in order for us to be totally off the grid and free water all the time through spring water and roof water, rainwater, I'm going to develop that spring over there and use this box. So I'm going to let you see some of what it looks like close up. Okay, this is Gordon again, and this is the spring development box. This is what we're going to fill up with rock. We're going to bury it in the ground. We're going to fill it up with rock, and then we're going to cover it up. You can see it's inside of it is a pipe. This is a 3/4 inch pipe because it's only a seeping well. We're probably not going to use no 3 or 4 inch pipe. And you can see that it's this is 12 and a half feet long. This is 12 and a half feet long box, and it's surrounded by a 1/2 inch mesh rabbit fence wire. And the pipe has got a groove in it. You can see the groove. That's where the water. You have to have the pipe. I didn't drill holes. I just put a deep groove in it, and you can see that groove. The water is going to seep in there, and then the box will be tilted a little bit to the right. We'll tilt the box to the right, and then the water will come out over here, and then we'll bring the pipe out this way and bring it down towards my hollow. This is the box. It's a 9-inch cube. It's 9 inches all on the cube, and then it's 12 and a half feet long. And you can see it's all screened in on 3 sides. Okay, it's screened in on 3 sides, and it's supported. And on the other end, it's closed. This is the far end, and that's got a cap on it. And it's built out of 1x2s. Took about 15 1x2s. The mesh fence, the mesh screen is, I paid $30 for the screen. I've paid $15 for the wood. The pipe is really cheap. I didn't even spend $6 or a 10-foot pipe is $2.20 up at. So the pipe is almost negligible, including the fittings. They're not that expensive. The mesh was $30. The wood was $15. But then I bought a lot of hardware. You know, you see here, I have a lot of staples in there, but you won't get by just on staples. You'll see that I have bolts with washers on there to hold that in. You can't just use staples to staple that screen on there. The reason is that stone is going to be very, very heavy, and when you put that heavy stone in there, it could tear out just staples. So as you can see, I got wood bolts with washers and bolts, and I bolted them in there. Some other hints, all holes should be piloted. You have to pilot each hole. Matter of fact, I used 2 drills. One, I had the drill bit to start the hole, and the other had a drill, and the other had the drill bit. So it goes much quicker if you have 2 drills. Just some tips. Make sure you drill pilot holes in everything. Otherwise, you're going to crack. You'll definitely crack it all up, and you don't want to have a poorly made box. Hi there. This is Gordon out on our property out here in Morgan County, and I'm shooting my camera now down on the north boundary of my property, and you can see my property. I've got my camera aimed right at the property line, right there, to the left of that pine tree there. A little bit to the left of that pine tree, and then that tall tree between it. The property line runs right between there. There's a white stake right beyond the other side of that. So I'm standing on the property line right here. And if you look down below here, you see all kinds of reeds and stuff. Let me zoom this out. And I'm back to the property line, but there's a reason this is all wet. There's a spring here. The water's actually coming up from the ground and making the ground wet. So if you go over here on my side, on our property, on this side here, now this is our property over here, because there's a tree over there. This is our hollow way down here. We got like a couple of hollows, and our home, you can't hardly see it, but our home is up where that daylight is. Our cabin is up there. But I wanted to show you this part here. This is the front of this. And you can see here where it's all wet. This is all water coming through here. It's not fast. It's a small trickle. There's 3 areas. There's three holes. There's a hole right in here. They look like snake holes. There's 2 of them right in there. And then there's one over here. Where it's all wet. And then there's another hole right here. Where it's all wet. When it comes down, these 3 fingers, come down to here, and they empty out into here, and you can see the little, yeah, it's hard to see here. You can see the water coming down in the gully here. Let me see if I can put branches away. there's a stream of water flowing down there. There, you can see that. See the flow of water? Right there. See all that water streaming out of there? That's coming out of those 3 holes. It all goes down. Now you can see it moving. See, you can see the water coming down all through there. There it is. There's a little better picture of the part of the spring down here. You can see it. You can see the water just kind of bubbling out of that hole right there. You can actually see the water. There it is. See it bubbling out? It's bubbling out the bottom of the side of this hill here. Right there, you can see it. You can even see water bubbling out. Okay, there you go. There's a good shot right there. You can see it bubbling right there. Also, you can see here there's a hole right here that you can see it's bubbling down the side here. Right there. See that hole there? Then you can see this water all bubbling down. See all the water right here coming out? You can see all the water bubbling right out of that hole there. And there's about maybe 6 or 8 of these little holes where the water comes. Okay, here's our little spring. Now, it's kind of hard to see because they're not getting a lot of water out, but there's holes right there. You can see a hole right there, and there are 2 holes down there. And the water is coming out of the... You can see the... well, let's see. You can see the water dripping through there. There you can see it flowing over there. And it comes out of these holes here. There's little holes. And it comes out of the side. And it's not groundwater because it's dry up there along here. So that's the little spring. It's a surface spring. The groundwater is very close to the surface. And what I'm going to do is try and harness this water in this box here. And it's 13 feet long. And this is 10 inches cubed. And down in the pipe, the pipe is a 3/4 inch. And it'll set straight up like that. And it'll go all the way down here to this pipe here, and then it'll empty out. Well, let me put this over here to show you. We'll put this pipe right here, and that pipe, that water will come out through the box and into that pipe and down towards the hollow, back over towards the house up that way. You can see the roof of the house where we were. And it's 13 feet long, it's 10 inches square, and we're going to dig it about 3 feet deep and get that water down there. There's water close to the water table here. And I make it strong. You don't want to just use nails or toenail nails in there, because when we put the rock in there, I've got 20 bags of rock, stone, that you get at Walmart for like $4 a bag. And when you put that in there, that's going to put a lot of weight on there. So make your box strong if you're going to do something like this. And that's it. We're going to pipe the water up down the hill, and we're going to see if we can get water out of this spring. There it is. It's just a 3/4 inch pipe. It's 1x2s. I got it set so it's directly in the center. See, the pipe is directly in the center, so it will be surrounded by 4 inches of stone. Will be all the way around the pipe. And the cost of the box cost me like $60 to make the box. The most expensive part is the rabbit fence. That's 1/2-inch rabbit fence around there. And the stone cost me $80. So I got $150 invested in this. If it don't work, then that's all I lose, $150. But I got a feeling it'll work. I'm hoping, even if I can get just 1 gallon of water in an hour, which isn't a lot, 1 gallon of water in an hour, I would be able to get 200 gallons in 8 days. 200 gallons every 8 days. So I'm not going to get much out of this, but we're going to see. And I'll also chlorinate it and everything. The stone will clean it, and I got my buddies going to come and bury it. And next time you see me, I'm going to be at that end, and there'll be just that pipe sticking out, and we'll see how much flow, and we'll see how clean it is. So I'll see you in well, we're going to do it next week, and then I'll wait a week. I'll wait for a week or so for the stone, the dirt to settle out of the stone. It'll take a week or so for that rock to clear that sediment in there. So, all right, I'll see you when this is done. Okay, there's the box in the hole, and it's stunk. We're about 2 and 3 feet deep, maybe 2 feet down there and 3 feet up this way, and the pipe is going to come out of here. We haven't put the stone in. All we're going to do is put stone in there and get that pipe straight up, just like it is. And then we're still got to dig this trench here for this is the pipe that's going to come out here. That pipe is going to go in this ditch here. And we're going to dig it out from over there. And that's the box. That's the spring development box. And so we're going to fill it with stone and fill it up, and that's going to be it. Hi, this is Gordon again for the final spring. And I'm pleased as punch because I just measured it, and I'm getting 1 gallon every 4 minutes, which is tremendous. 1 gallon every 4 minutes, so that's about well, it's about 300 gallons every day, more than 300 gallons every day. So that's what it is. It's coming out very clear. You can see it's very, very clear. Right there, coming out of that pipe. And right now I got it going into a little pond there, and then it's going over into the hollow over here. So just until I pipe it, I'm gonna have to pipe it. There it is. There's a stream. That's not a lot. That's only that's 1 gallon every about 4 minutes. A little more than that. 1 gallon every 4 minutes, and do the math, and it's 300 gallons a day. So this little spring is going to supply all the water I need. We're just going to use it to supplement the rainwater, but at that rate, I can use this to get water for the house. So there it is. It's real clear, very clear water. You can see it's very, very crystal clear. Of course, I'll put another spring box to filter out any more sediment, and then put it into a tank, and there it is. There it is. It's going in, and now I got it just going over into the hollow over here, but I'll just pipe it across. I'll pipe it across to the house. So there's my spring. After I buried that box of rocks and put the rocks in that box, and it's groundwater, but it's a spring. You could see there were still springs in the bottom of when we put the box in, you could see holes where the water was coming out. So there it is. Bye-bye. That's how we make a spring development box from a spring where the groundwater, it's where the spring is very near the top of the surface, and it's we buried that about 3 feet deep. 3 feet deep, and fill it with stone, and that's what I got. It's 4 days now, so this is 4 days later. It's cleaned out pretty good. You can see it's cleaned out pretty good. 4 days later, there's a good, nice, clean water coming out. That water, the stone is really filtering that water nice. Right there, going into that little pond there. Okay, there's my spring. Now I got to do a little more work. Make a spring box, and then a tank, and then pump it up into the cistern. Bye-bye.